Imagine you wake up in the morning and you've got your day planned. You're going to hit the gym. You're going to get those business ideas implemented, those projects that you've been procrastinating. It's time to get them done today. But you wake up rock solid with your morning wood and it sends tingles up your body and just this desire takes over you. And so you grab your phone instead of getting up and getting to work, and you go on the hub, or you go onto Instagram, or you go and see some booty shakers on TikTok and you rub one out. But you don't rub one out right away because you got to find the right girl, the right video, the right scenario. So maybe half an hour goes by, maybe an hour goes by, and the whole time that you're doing that, your brain is releasing dopamine and serotonin because you feel good, because you see a woman on a screen, and instead of getting up and executing your day the way that you intended, hours have gone by, you've wanked it to somebody on a screen or some scenario on a screen. You've depleted your energy. You have depleted all your best minerals, enzymes, nutrients, and you've now released prolactin into your system, which makes you tired. And not only do you did it today, but you're going to do it again tomorrow and the next day until this becomes a habit. Now, some of you are already living this habit and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of you may kind of be living this habit. Some days you win, some days you don't. But ultimately, you want this out of your life. In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can undo the damage that habit, that adult content that you're viewing. I'm going to show you how you can undo it and rewire your brain for success. Let's get into it. Hi, my name is Nakula and I help men master their S3X energy so you can become a powerhouse both in and outside the bedroom. Go to the link in the description below and take the free S3X transmutation guide. This is a free program designed to help you transmute that energy, rewire your brain, and unleash your masculine power. Now, you got to understand that if this is how you're living your life, if you're basically wanking it to the screen a few times a week or daily, first of all, it's going to compound. I know when I started watching adult content, it was like, yeah, I watched it and I'm like, oh, that was hot, that was cool. But then I wouldn't think about it again. And then I watched it again. Then I watched it again. Till all of a sudden, it was like I couldn't even start the day without watching something or looking at something. It's like my mind was driven to just look at something, watch something, to feel good, to feel that bit of rush, to feel that S3X energy, to tantalize myself. What I didn't realize I was doing, which most men don't, is I was wiring myself to become addicted. Excessive adult content is shown to reduce gray brain matter. Gray brain matter in the prefrontal cortex is actually your decision-making. It's your decision-making centers, meaning you become more impulsive. You don't make good decisions. You can't make long-term decisions, and you override the things that are important to you, like getting to the gym, like implementing those business ideas, like your real relationship. If you're married or in a real relationship or want a real relationship, you override all that for your base desire. You just become a compulsive human being. Essentially, you've tricked yourself into thinking that you are doing biologically what you're designed to do. This is why adult content is so dangerous. S3X is not bad. It is a natural drive. It is a natural expression. It's designed to make the species go forward. So your brain is like a computer, and the way that your brain talks to you or sends you programming is it releases certain chemicals. So in the brain is the signal actually when your testicles need to get stimulated for testosterone, it starts in your brain. Serotonin, prolactin, oxytocin, all of this is coming from neural pathways in the brain, or the brain signaling your computer saying, hey, this is what we need you to do. when you are essentially by yourself and you're eating a bunch of food and you're watching adult content, you are tricking your brain into doing the two base desires: surviving by needing food and procreating through adult content. So every time you wank it and you ejaculate, you're saying, hey, I did my job. Now the brain can't tell whether you actually did your job or not. It's just simply responding to the stimulants. It's like stimulant input. So once you give it a certain stimulant, you move in a certain way. The beauty is that you're a human being, meaning you're conscious, meaning you can, within yourself, program yourself just like a computer. When you get your computer, you can program, you can download certain programs so that the computer has certain functions. Well, similarly, you can download, like Neo in the Matrix. Have you ever seen that movie and they've got the thing in the back of his head and then they're like, and he's like, I know Kung Fu, right? And then Morpheus is like, show me, right? You can do that. Unfortunately, we're not as quick as maybe, Neo in the Matrix. I believe Elon Musk is trying to make that happen. I'm very weary though of unnatural processes. That's just me. That's maybe a different video. But I'm very conscious or weary of things that God didn't design. I trust our creator. I trust God. I put my faith in God and nature and not man-made things. Not saying that man-made things aren't bad. We're using man-made things right now to communicate. Man has made incredible technology and has incredible intellect to be able to create and solve problems. It's what the mind is for. But man is fallible, meaning we can override what's good for us and create things simply to stimulate us. Adult content being a great example of the human intellect being misused. And that's why I'm always weary about when this idea of technology and human beings kind of merging as one thing. I would be very conscious of that. Your brain is like a computer, and it's developing neural pathways. And those neural pathways, when used over and over again, meaning when you do something over and over and over again, it strengthens that pathway. And it diverts energy from other pathways, meaning you do have a limitation in the amount of energy you have, and you're definitely limited in time. Time is for sure limited. So therefore, the most precious thing that you have is time and attention. Because wherever your attention is going is how you are strengthening or weakening those neural pathways. Think of your brain like a tree. If you want your tree to be healthy and grow, you have to do something called pruning. Basically, I was actually out on my balcony the other day, and a few neighbors down, they've got this massive, it's beautiful tree. It's massive, hundreds of years old. And there were some guys up in there, and they were pruning the tree. They were cutting the dead branches off. My mom, she grows basil plants, and she's a great gardener. She does the same thing. She prunes the dead trees off. My father was doing this with a big apple tree in the backyard. He went and he took off, one year, he took off all the dead branches, and the next year, the amount of apples this tree produced was incredible. This principle also lives in you. So think of your brain as this tree. And all of those pathways, think of them as branches. Now, some of those branches are serving you, and some of those branches are not serving you. And that's what makes you human. You have choice. So the process is called synaptic pruning. And what that means is, as you continuously divert your energy from the branches, the habits that no longer serve you, so you stop watching adult content and you start working out and you start doing your S3X alchemy practices. And by the way, this is what I do for all of my students inside of my training programs. This is the basis of it, is that we are going to redirect your attention and focus to developing new branches, new neural pathways, and we're going to continue to feed them and feed them and feed them. And what happens is all of your time, all of your energy is going to developing these new branches, and then your brain, because it's a very smart computer, says, hey, we're no longer using these branches, so let's break them. And that's called synaptic pruning, meaning it kind of marks the branches you're not using for some time. And eventually, when you don't use them enough, it breaks them so that it can redivert that energy into the branches you are using. So what is the medium to being able to go through this process of synaptic programming and undo the damage that you may have done to your own brain and body through adult content? Well, first, it's going to take a strong reason why. You got to understand why you would want to do this. Now, I'm sure if you're on this channel and you're subscribed and you've been watching me for some time, or if you're brand new, you probably already have a reason why. Maybe you understand adult content is ruining your life. Maybe you recognize, maybe you're having some problems in the bedroom, erectile dysfunction or premature ejaculation. And by the way, as you heal your body and you go through the alchemic process that I show, I've helped so many men heal those types of bedroom challenges. Maybe you recognize this is distracting you from your bigger goals. Maybe your bank account is suffering, your health is suffering, your overall motivation levels and energy levels are suffering. So you have to have a reason why. Once you have that reason why, then you have to develop discipline. And discipline will then help you control your urges. And then through the process of alchemy that I teach, you will learn to retrain your brain and your relationship with that S3X energy that sent those tantalizing, feel-good energy in the morning to drive you to get up, not to get on the screen. I generally wake up with the morning wood on. That's health. That's healthy. It's good. But if you're going to waste it by grabbing the phone, you are overriding, you are misusing your freedom, your choice, because choice is freedom. But if you feel like you have no choice, if your body just says, hey, go do this, and you go do it, then you're a slave to your body, you're a slave to your senses, you're essentially operating no differently than how the animals operate. But you are more than an animal, you're a human being. And the human form of life has given you consciousness. Nature, God has rewarded you with some freedom to make choices, but we suffer the consequences of our choices. Those consequences may be positive or negative. That will be up to you. So what's at stake here? Your health, your longevity of life, your quality of life, your freedom. You can make the choice right now to begin the process of synaptic pruning by going and registering for the free S3X transmutation guide. And if you're ready to take it to the next level, book some time on my schedule. You're either going to connect with me or one of our success coaches. We're now helping literally thousands of guys over the last few years. So our business has grown, our organization is growing, and our success stories continue to grow. If you want to be our next success story, then go book some time on my schedule, or at least take advantage of the free program. Get started on this process of synaptic pruning, and let's undo the damage pornography has caused you. I'll see you on the next video.